Are you tired of waiting for financial relief? Well, hold on to your seats because breaking news just dropped. The IRS has announced a massive two-time stimulus payment of $5,400 specifically for SSDI and Social Security recipients, and the first deposits are hitting accounts this Friday. If you're wondering whether you qualify and how to make sure you get your payment, you're in the right place. Before we dive into all the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss out on critical updates about benefits and payments that could put thousands of dollars in your pocket. Now, you might be asking yourself, is this too good to be true? Let me break down exactly what's happening with this unprecedented stimulus payment. The IRS has recognized the extraordinary financial pressure that Social Security and SSDI recipients have been under, especially with rising inflation and increased living costs. This new stimulus initiative aims to provide immediate relief through two separate payments of $2,700 each, totaling $5,400 per eligible recipient. But here's the crucial part: you need to understand exactly how these payments will be distributed and what you need to do to ensure you receive yours. Let's address the burning question on everyone's mind: who exactly qualifies for this $5,400 stimulus payment? The good news is that if you're currently receiving Social Security benefits, including retirement, disability, or SSDI, you're likely already in the system. However, there are some specific requirements you need to meet. The payments are targeted at beneficiaries who have been receiving benefits for at least 3 months prior to the announcement date. Additionally, your annual income must fall within certain thresholds. We'll get into those specific numbers in just a moment. One of the most common questions I'm getting from viewers is about the payment schedule. Here's what you need to know. The first payment of $2,700 is scheduled to begin hitting accounts this Friday, with distributions continuing over the following 2 weeks based on the last 2 digits of your Social Security number. The second payment will follow exactly 1 month later. But what happens if you don't receive your payment on the expected date? Don't panic, I'll explain the steps you need to take if your payment seems delayed. Now, let's talk about those income thresholds I mentioned earlier. To receive the full $5,400 stimulus payment, single filers must have an adjusted gross income of less than $75,000 for the most recent tax year, while married couples filing jointly must be under $150,000. But here's something many people don't realize: even if you exceed these thresholds, you might still be eligible for a reduced payment. The amount gradually phases out up to incomes of $80,000 for individuals and $160,000 for married couples. What's particularly interesting is that these thresholds are more generous than previous stimulus payments, meaning more beneficiaries will qualify for the full amount. You might be wondering why this stimulus payment is happening now. The timing isn't random, it's part of a larger economic relief package aimed at addressing the ongoing impact of inflation on fixed income recipients. Social Security and SSDI beneficiaries have been particularly hard hit by rising costs in essential areas like healthcare, groceries, and housing. This two-time payment is designed to provide meaningful relief while also stimulating local economies. But here's what makes this different from previous stimulus payments: it's specifically targeted at those who rely on Social Security and SSDI benefits as their primary source of income. Let's talk about the practical aspects of receiving your payment. For most recipients, no action is required. The payment will be automatically deposited into the same account where you receive your monthly benefits. However, there are some situations where you might need to take action. For instance, if you've recently moved or changed banks, you'll want to ensure your information is up to date with the Social Security Administration. But what if you prefer a paper check? Don't worry, I'll explain how you can specify your preferred payment method. One critical aspect that's causing some confusion is the verification process. The IRS and Social Security Administration are working together to verify eligible recipients, but there have been some reports of eligible beneficiaries not being automatically identified in the system. This is particularly true for those who became eligible for SSDI or Social Security benefits in the past year. If you fall into this category, there's a specific process you need to follow to ensure you're properly registered for the stimulus payment. I'll walk you through those steps in detail. Something that's particularly important to understand is how this stimulus payment might affect your other benefits. Many viewers have expressed concern about whether accepting this payment could impact their monthly Social Security or SSDI payments, or affect their eligibility for other assistance programs like SNAP or Medicare. Let me clear this up. This stimulus payment is considered a tax credit, not income. This means it won't affect your eligibility for other federal or state benefits, and it won't be counted as income for tax purposes. This is crucial information that many recipients aren't aware of. But here's where things get interesting. There are some additional benefits that might come along with this stimulus payment that aren't being widely discussed. The IRS has included provisions for certain supplemental payments for beneficiaries with dependent children or those who provide care for elderly parents. These supplemental amounts could add significantly to the base payment of $5,400. However, qualifying for these additional amounts requires meeting specific criteria and, in some cases, submitting additional documentation. One question that keeps coming up in the comments is about the taxation of these stimulus payments. Will you need to pay taxes on the $5,400? The short answer is no. These payments are structured as tax credits and are not considered taxable income. However, there are some important considerations regarding how to properly report these payments on your tax return. This is particularly relevant for those who receive other forms of income besides Social Security or SSDI benefits. Let's address another common concern: what happens if you're currently receiving back pay or in the process of appealing a Social Security or SSDI decision? The good news is that these situations shouldn't affect your eligibility for the stimulus payment. In fact, if your benefits are approved retroactively, you may be eligible for retroactive stimulus payments as well. This is a crucial detail that many financial advisors aren't discussing. Now, here's something that might surprise you: there are actually several ways to potentially expedite your payment. While the standard distribution schedule is based on Social Security numbers, certain qualifying circumstances might make you eligible for priority processing. These circumstances include severe medical conditions, risk of eviction or foreclosure, or other demonstrable financial hardships. I'll explain the process for requesting expedited payment, but remember, documentation is key. One aspect that's creating some confusion is the relationship between this stimulus payment and the annual cost of living adjustment, COLA, for Social Security benefits. To be clear, this $5,400 stimulus is entirely separate from and in addition to any COLA increases. This means you'll still receive your regular benefits with the standard COLA increase, plus these two stimulus payments. Understanding this distinction is crucial for proper financial planning. Let's talk about some practical considerations for when you receive your payment. While it might be tempting to spend the entire amount immediately, financial experts recommend creating a strategic plan for these funds. Consider allocating portions to different needs: immediate expenses, debt reduction, emergency savings, and perhaps even some long-term investment if possible. I'll share some specific suggestions for making the most of your stimulus payment while considering the unique needs of Social Security and SSDI recipients. Here's something crucial that many people overlook: the importance of keeping proper documentation of your stimulus payment. While the payment itself should be automatic for most recipients, having a paper trail is essential for several reasons. First, it helps verify that you received the correct amount. Second, it's important for tax purposes, even though the payment itself isn't taxable. And third, it can be crucial if you need to resolve any issues with the payment. I'll explain exactly what documents you should keep and for how long. One of the most frequent questions I receive is about what to do if there are problems with your payment. Whether it's a wrong amount, a missing payment, or a payment sent to the wrong account, there are specific steps you need to follow to resolve these issues. The process can be different depending on whether you receive Social Security retirement benefits or SSDI, so I'll outline the proper procedures for both situations. Remember, timing is crucial when reporting payment issues. Now, let's discuss something that's causing significant concern: scams targeting stimulus recipients. Unfortunately, whenever there's a major government payment program, scammers come out of the woodwork. They might call, email, or text, claiming to be from the IRS or Social Security Administration. They might ask for personal information or claim you need to pay a fee to receive your stimulus. Let me be absolutely clear about this: no legitimate government agency will ever ask you to pay a fee to receive your stimulus payment or request sensitive information via phone or email. Another important aspect to consider is how this stimulus payment might affect any debt obligations you have. If you have outstanding federal or state debts, will this payment be protected? The answer is generally yes. These stimulus payments have special protections against garnishment for most types of debt. However, there are some exceptions you need to be aware of, particularly regarding child support obligations. Understanding these protections is crucial for proper financial planning. Here's something interesting that's not getting much attention: the potential ripple effects of this stimulus payment on local economies. When millions of Social Security and SSDI recipients receive these payments, it can have a significant impact on local businesses and services. This is particularly true in communities with higher concentrations of benefit recipients. Understanding this broader economic context can help you make more informed decisions about how to use your payment. Let's address a concern that many viewers have expressed: what about future stimulus payments? While this $5,400 two-time payment is significant, many are wondering if similar payments might be forthcoming. While I can't predict future government actions, I can explain the factors that typically influence these decisions and what indicators to watch for. This knowledge can help you better prepare for potential future financial assistance programs. One crucial aspect that deserves attention is how this stimulus payment might affect your medical benefits, particularly Medicare and Medicaid. Many recipients are concerned about whether this additional money could impact their eligibility for medical assistance programs. I'll explain the specific rules and exemptions that apply to stimulus payments in relation to these crucial healthcare programs. For those of you who are representative payees for Social Security or SSDI recipients, there are special considerations you need to be aware of. How should you handle these stimulus payments? What are your responsibilities? Are there specific reporting requirements? I'll walk through the guidelines for representative payees to ensure you're managing these payments appropriately for your beneficiary. Now, let's discuss some strategic planning considerations. While $5,400 is a significant amount, it's important to think about how to maximize its impact on your financial situation. Should you use it to pay down debt, build an emergency fund, make necessary home repairs or medical purchases? I'll share some frameworks for making these decisions based on your specific circumstances as a Social Security or SSDI recipient. Here's something particularly relevant for those of you who receive both Social Security and SSDI benefits: how this stimulus payment might affect your dual eligibility status. There are some specific considerations for dual recipients that differ from those who receive only one type of benefit. Understanding these nuances is crucial for proper financial planning and benefit management. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts and action items. Remember, while this $5,400 stimulus payment is automatic for most recipients, staying informed and proactive is key to ensuring you receive your full payment without issues. Keep an eye on your bank account this Friday and the following weeks, maintain proper documentation, and know exactly what steps to take if you encounter any problems. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I'll be providing regular updates as this stimulus payment rolls out, including answering viewer questions and addressing any issues that arise during the distribution process. Also, leave a comment below with any questions you have about the stimulus payment. I read all comments and address the most common questions in future videos. Remember, staying informed is your best defense against missing out on benefits you're entitled to receive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.